now talking about with you, it's kind of cool to like let it out. My got thrown out of the women's locker room. Sable stuck up for me. Lita walking out, and she just like looked at me and relax. I can't do a moonsault. I tried. I went up to TripleH. Yeah, he's like, I love the character, but unfortunately, Vince does not see anything.
I'd imagine he'd probably be like, what woman acts that way?
Before we started that Bound for Glory, the crown, the first ever knockout champ, we were standing there. We're like, we did it, girls. Jeff Jarrett, Dixie Carter, Bruce Pritchard was coming in, and then Hogan and Bischoff. No one knew who was in charge. What is this? You want me to sign a piece of paper that has no numbers? He's like, well, where else are you gonna go? I'm like, I didn't want my wrestling career to be over. That was the worst knockout match I've ever seen. Someone's telling me, get the out of here before it ruins you mentally more.
Right, before it does more damage than when I got here.
Could see myself doing like another run. Carlos, TNA president, came by because we've never met.
You're wild. You're the one dirty
yeah,
man. The ODB. Bam.
I'm like, I need a beer.
Do not attempt to walk straight or adjust your gait. This is LiMPiN AiNT. I am your handy captivating host. My name is Timmy Baltimore. Let's get to part 2 of one dirty interview. You know, and even though we were in different positions, we were also, there were some similarities in that we were there on our own dime. We figured out a way to show them we had something to offer, and we were different. And you talked about being different being one of the biggest obstacles, which is crazy because it's the wrestling business. Right. And different, like we're supposed to be. Holy Lord. No. They want it was a really like we had a great learning experience. We were in a great territory, but it was a time to be trying to get into WWE.
Once you look back at it,
it was terrible. Like their advice to me was, you need to be more like Todd Grisham. Todd Grisham is a wonderful announcer on ESPN. He's a great guy. Right. But I'm like, what? Well, you have Todd Grisham.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me a little bit about your relationship with WWE as far as them catching a whiff of you, catching a sight of you? Did you go and have any tryouts? Once you were in OVW, what did that look like? What's the story there?
I never did, because I had tryouts before I got to OVW, and I hated it. I hated being that backstage. I mean, my got thrown out of the women's locker room, and I hated the feeling. I didn't like it.
Did it make you anxious?
Yeah, like I was just like, God, you guys are a bunch of bitches. And I remember who that person was too. So, and it's like, and then another time Sable was there, and I was in the locker room, and the makeup lady, she came and she wanted to kick me out. She's like, you don't belong in here. And then Sable's like, no, she's exactly where she needs to be. Sable stuck up for me. Because she was she was with Brock at the time, and it was she's like, I like you. She's like, you're a Minnesota girl, and it was just I was like, damn. I was like, thank you. And she's like, no, she's fine. She can stay here.
That's dope.
I was like, damn, that's pretty badass. So that, but this being, and then you getting in the ring, and then everyone's watching you, hoping, like, I just didn't like it. I remember too, like, Lita walking out, and again, I just had like a couple tattoos. I didn't have all this. And she just like looked at me, and I'm like, hey, I'm, Jesse. Nice to meet you. She didn't give a I was like, God damn. I'm like, all right. But you get it. Like, I guess I didn't know that backstage, I was just a couple years in the business. But then but now, after being almost 25 years in the business, you look back and you're like, man, every person that came through TNA, I mean, that locker room was awesome. And that's what I learned from OVW. It doesn't matter. I don't give a who you are. Like, you're on top, you're on bottom, because guess what? You're on top, you're coming back down. Your ass is coming back down.
Yes.
Who are you going to need?
Yes. And well said. Beautifully stated. It's crazy to me. I think that what your experience was up there is a real temperature check on how it was, the culture. Yeah. There's only one tattoo girl. Are you what?
Mike, relax. I can't do a moonsault. I tried. During a match, we were practicing, and had the the pad. I just can't flip back. I can't even flip forward. And I can't even, don't call it hip toss in my match because I ain't
It ain't happening.
Yeah. I remember like practicing it, and I did it during practice, and I was like, I want you to do it in your match tonight. I'm like, huh? Well, it was during my match, and I went up to the top. I looked back, I'm like, nah, climb back down. I was like,
I used to go up there too, like if in the WWE's backstage, if auditioning to be backstage, my guest at this time, whatever.
man,
There was a lot of nerves. There was a lot of anxiety, and
no feeling. I never wanted to feel that again. I was like, ugh.
do you think it was just because, well, you're not here, so lick our, eat and die, or was it like, hey, you might be a threat?
A little bit of both, probably some of those. I think that's when Lita was probably. I don't know her time frame when she was there, but that's probably the time when those girls were on their way out. I think.
Yeah.
I don't really remember, but I mean, you look at me. I mean, I was wrestling because I remember they threw me in the ring with Jazz because Gail Kim was there at the time, and she's like, oh, "You guys got to wrestle," and Jazz was like, "I'll wrestle her." So we went in, and she's like, "Oh, thank you," and it was great. Those girls were super nice, but yeah, it was just that feeling. And I'm just like, I don't. And then once I got to OVW, I never went backstage. The only time they saw me was when they came, like Dusty Rhodes. He helped me a lot with promos. Well, Greg Gagne came in just for a sec. He wasn't there that long.
Oh, Greg Gagne. Hey, remember he called Punk CM, and he called Seth Skyfire Zeth. CM
that's
and
right.
Zeth.
I remember that.
Greg was kind of like a gumpy guy, kind of like.
Yeah. When Robert Gibson was there, he was awesome. He was just
so fun. So fun.
Oh, but yeah, and then I think just because every time those guys came, and then I would go and chat with them, and then the time so this would be 07 when TNA, when they were starting the knockout division. I get a call from Terry Taylor, and I think I was the OVW champ at the time. And Terry Taylor called and said, "Hey, we're starting the knockout division. We'd like you to be a part of it for the first ever Bound for Glory. We're doing a title shot." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Well, I'm at OVW right now." And I was like, "Okay, well, let me, can I get back to you?" He's like, "Yep." So then TripleH and Shawn Michaels were there that night.
This was the night you got the call from Terry Taylor. Yeah. Was the same day that they came down.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. I was like, "Whoa." So of course, like Triple H and Shawn Michaels show up, and you're like, "Hey," and then
they were actually very cool and welcoming. Actually,
right? Yeah, they were like Triple H was more. I attracted myself more to Triple H than Michaels. And then after the match, I was like, I gotta go and talk to him. So I went up to Triple H. I was like, "Hi, I'm Jess ODB." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I love the character, but unfortunately, Vince does not see anything. He doesn't like the character." Blah, blah, but he's like, "But I like it." And I said, "Well, can I ask you a question?" I was like, Terry Taylor just called me. TNA starting their women's division called the Knockouts, and they would like me to be a part of it. He's like, "Go." He's like, "That's your opportunity." He's like, "Go." He's like, "That's where you belong." He's like, "Then we'll see down the road, but take that opportunity." So I'm like, "All right." So then
you took that opportunity.
Yeah.
How did you? Okay, hearing that come out of Triple H's mouth that Vince doesn't get it. I've heard that too. He doesn't get it, and not saying it's a slight. It's just like I'd imagine he'd probably be like, "What woman acts that way?" It's like, well,
right. I don't want to kiss her on screen. I don't want to do any backstage promos with her.
I mean, but what did that was it? What was the feeling going through your head knowing that for right now was WWE was out of play, but there was this opportunity at TNA? Was it exciting? Was it heartbreaking? What was it?
I think it was more exciting because I was like, "Oh, so this while I was at OVW, building my character, getting TV time, learning how to do TV, learning how to cut promos. I'm ahead of the game." I'm like, I'm ready. Like it was kind of like, and then I talked to, Al and Danny, and got my TNA contract, and I was like, what number is that? And they're like, unfortunately you have nothing. Like that's it. That's what you're getting.
No bargaining chips here.
Yeah.
No
I mean, I
leverage.
wasn't getting paid anyway, so I'm like, well, at least I can quit one of my jobs, I guess.
Yeah.
But, oh,
So TNA and the Knockouts division, this is an important thing, and it's I think starting to get its due and proper and its flowers, as the kids would say. Um, you guys were the precipice for what became the women's evolution revolution. How did you feel hearing, just in some current news, that Mickie James and Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, beautiful people, got in the TNA Hall of Fame? You're muted on me, girl. Can you hear me? You're muted. You can't hear me?
dang it.
There you go. You
There
just
we
came
go.
back.
Here we go.
There you
Okay.
are. You're
Oh,
like, them bitches.
I paused myself. Just kidding.
No.
No, I was very excited because I was like, oh, they're doing an all women's, Hall of Fame. And of course, yes, I mean, hopefully before I die, I could go into the TNA Hall of Fame, you know. But like, it's cool to see that because, Gail was the first one. Then they put Awesome Kong. And then they put Tracy Brooks being, the very first knockout, starting it all. And then now these ladies, I'm like, well deserved. Hell yeah. Awesome. It's very cool that they are focused on the knockouts, because that was a big part of TNA. I mean, obviously the X Division too and stuff, but the knockouts, we started the evolution before the evolution was ever started. But I just don't think TNA got the credit for it,
No, it was the litmus test. It was the, let's see if people want to see this, if we present these women
right?
as stars on their own accord. And
Mhm.
man, like, you're right, you were ahead of the game, but there were certain individuals like Angelina Love. Also, she knew how to get over. Because she
Yep.
had been hungry, waiting, shipped all over, and then fired. She was
Right. Yeah.
ready.
I mean, yeah, because she got hired and then didn't they send her to Deep South
And then to
to
Louisville,
Georgia?
remember they sent her to OVW for 2 days and then fired her. The poor thing.
Yes. So she moved to Georgia. Yeah. I was like,
Crazy.
God.
It was almost becoming a beacon for, hey, if you're a woman who can go, there's a place for you. Did you feel that in the same way like you felt pride in OVW and building the territory? Did you feel that in the Knockouts division and TNA?
Oh hell yeah! Because all those girls, like you got Gail, Tracy did the Indies, and Gail was in WWE, and then came over to TNA. You had Kong wrestled in Japan for years. The beautiful people, I wrestled with Angel so many times, and Velvet did her territory up in where's she from, Connecticut,
Connecticut. Yeah.
and so it was like all of us coming in, and and then you had Shelly Martinez coming in as the sexy one, and then Roxy, Christy Hemme, and it was just like, damn, they really chose that knockout division. Once I think about it, they really chose that really good because like I think Gail and Tracy had a big part of that because they were like, what girls do you guys think should be a part of this history right here? And at the time, I guess I wasn't even thinking like, yes, we were making history, but I don't know. It's cool just to be around everyone where we all met each other, we all knew each other. And I remember like standing in a circle before we started that Bound for Glory, the gauntlet match to crown the first ever knockout champ. And we were standing there, we're like, we did it, girls. Well, we did it, we made it there. Now the work starts. You know what I mean? Like, and they
Yeah.
let it TNA open that door. I mean, Russo like really let us like, and Dutch Mantel like they let us be characters. It was awesome. You
That's
know?
the thing too. You look at that division and you saw it wasn't, you look at WWE at the time, and again, I'm not it's apples and oranges, but WWE, it was there wasn't much diversity in
Yeah.
the type of woman competing or performing rather.
Mhm.
In TNA, it was all walks of life, and it was truly like wrestling should be the circus. You want the trapeze artist, you want the
Yeah, the
clowns
circus.
in the
Remember
clown
that?
car.
Remember we pitched that idea?
Yes. Oh,
I was the bearded lady.
you were my bearded lady, the sexy bearded lady. I still have that vignette. That was a
Oh,
great idea. Bruce
right?
Pritchard liked that idea.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for doing that with me. That really helped.
yeah.
Um, oh my goodness. Yeah, that was great. Me, the evil carnival barker.
That was yeah,
Yeah. Um,
cool.
I think that gimmick's been tried a lot of times by different people. It's 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 kind of like the frat house gimmick or the magician gimmick or the carnival gimmick. Sometimes it's hard for those to work, I guess. Um,
Right?
so what was some of you talk about Russo and Terry Taylor being an advocate. A lot of people have issues that had issues working with Russo, but a lot of people loved working with him. What was the relationship like with you?
I loved Russo. He would let me be me, and most of the times, like, because I pitched ideas, and that's what I learned from OVW is pitch your ideas, and like I would write them up and pitch them, like I wanted an ODB talk show because I always wanted a Piper's Pit kind of show, and I got it. I mean, they gave it to Karen Jarrett at first, but I was like, really? But then eventually I got it.
You said, really?
So I'm like, I'm pitching for myself, and it's going to other people.
That's yeah.
But it's risky, You're pitching something, they're like, oh, that'd be great for so and so.
Right. This is a great idea for
Yeah,
someone.
great idea, thanks. And I was always on Russo, and he was just like, God damn it, ODB. Like I would do stuff, and then he would try to get me too, like on set when I had my talk show, and sometimes I would do the talk show, and I don't even know the story behind it. We tape it early in the morning, and then I had homicide on it, and we were just bullshit. We didn't even really have a script. They said make sure you just announce the pay-per-view, blah blah blah, and who you're wrestling. So I'm interviewing him, and then there's bottles, which I didn't think there was anything in them. It's like Jägermeister, and then there's like tequila. So we both grab it. We're like, yeah, and I'm like, I just spit it out. Russo's like, cut, we're good. And I'm like, you little bitch. Jogging it's like 9 a.m. I'm like, oh, like gotcha. But yeah, no, he was cool. Like he was very approachable too, because like sometimes a lot of those guys aren't approachable. Bruce Pritchard was cool to me, but sometimes he wasn't that approachable for me. Like every time I'd want to go talk to him, he'd pick up his phone.
Oh, he did that? Wow.
I'm like, it's ringing, and you're on it. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
So like stuff like But yeah, I mean, I got along with Russo. I mean, I'll talk with him here and there, and he always reaches out, make sure I'm doing all right, and comments on stuff. So yeah, he was cool.
In OVW at times, like with the writers, did you ever hear any positive feedback? Is what I'm asking from WWE. Like, well, maybe.
I don't think I did. I mean, Dusty Rhodes was pretty much the only one. He was, he was just like, just keep, working your character. He's like, we're watching you. But it wasn't. I didn't even think it's so weird because I just kept doing OVW and just doing my thing. Yes, hoping to get a job, but I don't know. I just knew in the back of my mind that I was like, maybe that's not the place because I've never worked for them. Never, had a match ever in WWE.
I think you knew it would work out. Like you came knowing how to get over after OVW, right? You knew who the hell ODB was. You knew you knew who you were, and it's so that's such an important thing, and you can tell guys and girls certain like who know how to get over. Like Colt Cabana always like he just knew how, anywhere he goes, he knows how to get over. So that's a skill that is probably the most valuable skill you can have in wrestling. What was your high points in TNA for the ODB?
I think it's cool because I got to be if I wasn't involved in the Knockouts title, I got to do other stuff. Like they put me like in the TNA original group against the main event Mafia, and then it was like the TNA OGs, and it was like me, AJ, was it PD Williams in there? Might have been EY too. And like, so we feuded with them. So then I would feud with Charmel. So we had like some kind of fun stuff there. And then if I wasn't involved in that, then I had the talk show going on. So I was always doing something if I wasn't involved in the main, you know. And then of course then they paired me with EY. And then that's when it was just like, shit, it was just fun because I was trying new stuff. Like I didn't, I wasn't like having matches every week, but me and EY were doing funny stuff, and that took us to getting married, which it's pretty cool. Like I got to do stuff that not everyone gets to do in their career. Like I got to have a wrestling wedding, that was pretty badass.
How many people get to do the wedding angle?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a handful.
Cool.
And it never seems to go according to plan. What the
Right.
hell? You think people would learn by now? Don't have a televised wrestling wedding. It's gonna go to shit. I wonder, when you got signed to TNA after Hunter and Shawn Michaels came to OVW, if you like, and then WWE left in February of 2008.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about this before the interview started, or the chat here, and I was thinking like, when did Jesse leave OVW? And it was like you got out right in time.
Oh
like
God.
you got out right in time, and not to say that OVW hasn't survived, and it's still doing its thing, and it's but that was a really special time where it was like anybody's ball game, and you could make it happen. And I just remember, do you remember like a lot of the weird anxiety of like hearing which people up there liked you, which people probably didn't? Like Mark Carano seemed to like me, but he also seemed to want to ruin my life at times. Like so like it was a real, what it was? That's what there was kind of like a sadism, it felt like up there,
Right.
If you weren't with them. What was in TNA, what was something that you encountered that was tough for you? Were there any tough times during that period?
Yeah, because there was a lot of like management. No one knew who was in charge, because you had Dixie Carter, Jeff Jarrett, Dixie Carter, and then you started getting, Bruce Prichard was coming in, and then Hogan and Bischoff were coming in, and then you really didn't know what the hell was going on, and I was getting nervous because I got not like let go. It was basically, you sign a contract and be like, oh well, your contract no longer exists anymore. I'm like, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
like it ran out, or it turned over?
Like once it was like, we're gonna redo your contract. I'm like, oh, you're just gonna redo it out of nowhere? I'm like, okay. So that happened to me once. So then, cause I think I'm trying to get my memory back here on this. Because then I remember, because Terry Taylor was always the guy that called me, and then there was one time where it was 2010, and that's when Bischoff and Hogan came. And right away I went up to both of them, and Hogan's like, "What's up, ODB?" I'm like, "What's up?" So it was very cool to like that was
hear your name come out of Hulk Hogan's mouth.
Yeah, because I remember him walking, because we were always in Orlando at Universal, and I was like, all right, I gotta go talk to him, and he's walking, and I'm walking this way, and I'm like, hey Hulk, what's going on? He's like, he just stopped, and he's like, what's up, ODB? I'm like, he knows my name.
That's very cool, huh?
Yeah. Rest in peace, Hogan. Like he was always cool to me, because it was, even though back then I didn't really know what was going on behind the scenes and everything, but him and Bischoff, he was always approachable. He was very cool to me, because I was nervous talking to those guys, and then when Bischoff came, I pulled him aside a few times and pitched ideas to him too. And he's like, I really enjoy this. I like that's nice that you're, I think I was like the only woman that actually like pitched ideas and like I wasn't just there just to like, do my thing and leave. I was like, hey, I'm here. Like I want to take advantage of everything I got here, and then, but 2010, I think I kind of got released, but I don't remember. I think my contract literally just went away. My second, this is the second time. Like,
hold on, when you say it went away, like they burnt it?
I don't remember. It's like, so then I was gone for quite like, I think 4 to 6 months, I think.
How long was that run, that first run?
So like, they signed me in 07, so 8, 9, 10, so 3 years.
Damn good.
And then then contract kind of went away, and I was like, well,
contract, who do you need?
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. So then I started working more at the bar, and then then Terry Taylor called me. He's like, oh, we're doing like an open challenge. Can you come in and we'll see, what happens.
We found your contract.
Yeah, we found it in here. I'm like, oh, this blank piece of paper you found? Oh, so I was like, yeah. And then watching TNA, because I think I got in trouble with some tweets. That's what it was.
Oh, delete.
Yeah,
oh, man, that we were new to it. You can't put that in our hands.
Yeah, exactly. I was on my BlackBerry, I think, or something, and then I was like, what's this? Brown panties? I thought we didn't do that here. I was just and then Bill Behrens was, he's like, did you do all this? I'm like, well, I'm in character. It's ODB. But I guess you couldn't be in character back then. So let me go for a little bit, brought me back in, and Bischoff pulled me aside. He's like, where have you been? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, do you have a job here? I'm like, I don't have a contract anymore. He's like, well, I'm going to fix that. It's like, you need to be here. He's like, I guess he just wasn't thinking, he just saw me. He's like, where have you been? So what I would think that he kind of helped me get, back. And then I was there for 4 more years. So
isn't that cool when those, like when your advocates are these people that like you grew up watching or maybe think like, I know Bruce did the phone trick with you. Bruce liked me. And so I was always blown away, like, brother love, like that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I really love that. I love that you had that relationship with all of them. But the big hiccup at that point was nobody knew who was in charge.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we'd all go out. I'm like, who is in charge? Like I have no idea. Like I have no idea who I'm reaching out to. And then all of a sudden more people are coming in, and you're like, who is this? Like yeah, it was just weird. Then I think because then 2014, as far as I remember all this, and then remember I got a call from Russo. My contract again, I guess, disappeared or it was up. I don't know. No rollovers, I guess, for me. And Russo called and said, hey, we want to redo your contract. And then so they sent it over, and it literally had no numbers on it. I was like, what is this? You want me to sign a piece of paper that has no numbers? Like, huh? He's like, well, where else are you going to go? I'm like,
wow.
It doesn't matter where. I thought me and Russo were good at that time. But I'm like, I can go down the street and pick up a bar shift. I'm not ashamed of bartending and making more than I probably made at TNA. Like, come on, like Jesus. And he talked. He's like, no, we want to use you, and we just don't know what to do with you. I'm like, if you don't know what to do with me, maybe you should be looking at the other people. Like, if you don't know, I can write my own. Like that's I'm like, you don't know what to do with me. Well, it's like
that was really like that was what he said. He didn't. Where else are you going to go? This is a horrible phone conversation. Where else are you going to go?
I remember I was in my front yard. I was like walking around outside. I'm like, I need a beer.
Right. And we don't know what to do with you.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out, but we're going to use you on TNA Explosion, so that that airs in the UK. And I'm like, well, put that in the contract then. Like, to me, I wasn't a mark for myself. I wasn't okay, I'm going to stay at the company and they don't respect me. They don't want to pay me. Yeah, I really like no, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be with you guys if you guys don't. Like, I look at all the girls that were still there, and then they're bringing in all the other girls. I'm like, really? You're gonna let me go? I'm like, okay. So that was like the start. And I hung up the phone. I'm like, whoa, goddamn! I don't have a job. I don't know what's going on in wrestling world, but then that's. But sometimes a door has to close in order for you to like. I didn't want my wrestling career to be over then because that was. I was 13, 14 years in the business at the time, 7 years at TNA, and I still could go. And I'm like, I was in my mid 30s. So
You couldn't take that one on the chin, right? The money you can't, because you'd be eating that the rest of your career if you show them that they can treat
yeah,
you that way.
yeah, because I just stay true to myself, and then I was like, well, I don't know if WWE's interested in. I think I just reached out on the email Johnny Ace. And of course, he wrote back, and now with all the stuff coming out, now I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess they still didn't like me, but it's just because I didn't have anyone pushing for me in that 2014 at the time, and I really wasn't pushing that. I also didn't push it too. I didn't like. I got that one email. I said, f it, and then I think I went to Ring of Honor for a little bit with the Briscoes. Did that, and then did some indies, and then kind of slowly left wrestling.
Was it kind of like a slow death, a slow realization of, okay, I'm here, then I'm here, and then what am I doing? Or had the passion left you? Had it left your heart? Was it just time for something new? Or like you said, life sometimes has to close that door for you to evolve. And I think that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
Did you feel that way at the time, or was it heartbreaking? And
No, I think I saw it coming. So I was getting frustrated. It was because me and EY's thing, because he was doing other stuff. He had his own fishing show and stuff. So then that was me and EY's thing kind of separated, and then they were just kind of random, like using me here and there, and then I had a match. I don't think I've ever told anyone this. I had a match. Santana Garrett came in, and they were gonna put her with like the beautiful people. So all day, I had no idea what I was gonna be doing. They're like, "Oh, you have an explosion match. It'll be at the end of the show with Santana." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I'm trying to find her. She's with the beautiful people. They're trying to get their segments done, and I'm like, "Hey, we have a match tonight." She's like, "Okay, well, I need to do this with the beautiful people." I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "Well, what do you do?" Like, I have no, I didn't know her stuff at the time, and she's like, "Well, I do the Trish Stratus thing." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like, doing
the handstand gimmick?
Yeah. I'm like, "Okay, awesome." And so then all of a sudden, I'm always like dressed early and stuff, and they're like, "Hey, you guys are before the show. You guys are on in like 15 minutes." I'm like, I haven't even talked to her. I don't even know where the she is. I'm like, "Hey, we're up first." She's like, "Oh my god, getting ready." And that's when I said, "Okay, what do you do?" Okay, the finish is this. I'm like, it. I'm like, "Okay." We go out there. Brian Hepner's our ref, and then the whole match, I'm just frustrated. I'm like, God, this is not going the way way I want it to go. Finally, 1, 2, 3, get out of there. I get backstage, and Big, they called him Big John.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
a Baltimore guy. Don't hold it against me.
Yeah, I wanted to throw punch him when I got out. So I got backstage, and he's like, "That was the worst knockout match I've ever seen." And in my head, I'm like, you, you. And I just, I was just standing there. And then I remember Bubba and Gail Kim were standing kind of behind him. Let's like, what the And right there, I think that was kind of like, I'm done. Like, you guys just, it was just building up. Like, I don't know, I think the respect from TNA to me, it was just kind of like, I'm not having fun anymore. And I always tell myself, when I'm not having fun, it's time for me to go. Even though if it wasn't my choice. But it's just what I wanted other things. I think I wanted to, branch out with my brand. And after that, so that night I walked out. I felt bad because I just pushed like Bubba and Gail. And they're like, ODB, get over here. I'm like, this place. So I walked out. I got a little emotional just by myself. And it's like, And then at that night, Dixie Carter had one of her, parties where you had kind of had to show up because they had a checklist of coming in. So I go with my boys Earl Hebner and Brian Hebner and Stifler, the other ref. So we go to the Hard Rock Hotel, and Dixie's having her party, and we get like a beer ticket. I think we get like one drink. I'm like, that. I'm taking more drinks. So we go. Me and Earl are like, this. Let's grab as much beer as we can in our pockets and stuff as we're clinking on the way out. And John was there big, and he's like, ODB, can I talk to you? I'm like, yep. Like, I do apologize. I shouldn't have said that. I'm like, well, thank you. I appreciate it. And that was it. And I walked out. But then after, I think the next day I watched that match, I'm like, fuck, I've had worse matches than this. It wasn't that bad of a match. For him to like do that, I don't know. It was just kind of weird to me.
So do you think that was like, when you say it was kind of weird, do you think that was something like maybe they were trying to push you out? Is that
once I kind of think about it, it was just like, I mean, was that just like the last? I mean, yeah, I don't know, because I don't know, and I always would like to know, like you said too, like you never knew who liked you or didn't like you. I always wanted to know, like, who just did not, in both places, in WWE and TNA, like, who didn't like the ODB character, like who just didn't. I can think of like one person at TNA that didn't like me, but it was like, because then too they started moving the girls into more sexiness, like we started doing photo shoots.
Yeah, but Jesse, you're my friend. I can say this. You're hot.
Well, thank
you know what I mean? Like there's a sexiness to the ODB, and there is a contingency of the fan base that loves that kind of woman. So
a real woman, like I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I think that too. Now talking about with you is kind of cool to like let it out, because I haven't really opened up much about, because you're always afraid of like burning bridges. But I built my own bridge. I don't need another bridge. So it's like I just like to talk about it, because it does. People do get stuck into that, where I was still always different, and then the bikini stuff came about, and then we were doing a photo shoot. Of course, you get like a week, 2 week heads up, and all the other girls are this big. I'm more bigger. I'm like, I don't want to be in a bikini. But then Christy Hemme, she was awesome, and she's like, no, you're sexy in your own way. I'm like, well, thank you. So she gives me this swimsuit. I didn't even know how to put it on. I was like, what the hell? It was. I was like, where's this? Oh, this is the crotch. I got to go down here. Like, it was like. I'm like, I'm supposed to fit into this thing. I'm like, all right. But she made me feel very sexy, and the other girls were awesome too. Like, so those are some kick-ass pictures. And then there was a picture of me, Gail, Taryn Terrell, and Brooke Adams. It was the four of us, and it was a badass picture. Like, it was awesome.
I think I've seen this. Yeah,
it was badass, and that was going to be like the cover of the calendar. And I was like, I want to be on a cover of calendar. I'm like, damn right. And I was in the locker room, and Christy Hemme came in, and she threw the calendar. She's like, oh, hey, here's the TNA Knockout calendar. I'm like, I thought I was supposed to be on the cover. And she's like, oh, yeah. Well, Big thought you could look better, and he didn't want you on the cover of that calendar. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So that was kind of like the bill. I'm like, he's like, no, ODB can look better than that. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I look pretty damn good in that picture. I was proud of myself. I was, And then I'm like, what? And then Brooke Adams was there. And then, of course, I got emotional, and she's like, damn, that, And I was just like, and I could just see it kind of, like you just building everything up. And I'm like, I think this is someone's telling me, like, get the out of here before it ruins you mentally more,
Right. It does more damage than when I got here. No, but that's really, Jesse, because I think, look, the young women, I don't know how in touch with the youth in the business you are these days. So different. And they would look at us like we were wild savages. And,
Right.
but after the shows, of course. But there's not that the acceptance and the differences are so much more embraced and celebrated. And I just think like you are such a pro, you wouldn't, even when something was bugging you, you didn't sell it because you were, it was important for you to, I think, look strong and but I think it's important also to talk about that
Yeah.
vulnerability of that mind, that mental game of
Yes.
I can't change this. Like this is what it is. I'm
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
talented, right? The people react. I can get
That-
drop me anywhere, anytime. I can get
Yeah.
over. What are we talking about here? So so you have a personal, because you don't like, I there's a lot of that I don't like that other people like. Like
Right.
that's
Yeah.
what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Um and maybe, maybe it was just time. Would you so leaving the industry, did it take a while to find your way again? What did that look like? How did that feel?
It didn't. Like it was. Like some people, like life after wrestling is great for me. I think it's better now than it was wrestling. I just feel like I've lived like so many different lives, and it's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, and I think a lot of people when they get fired or whatever, let go, and people are like, "Oh my god, the end of the world," and they're all over social media, and I'm like, "Oh my god, relax." Like it's it's either giving you a sign or like work, because I knew that obviously wrestling, especially for a woman, it's not you're not gonna have a long career sometimes for a woman. Like either your looks go away or just something happen. And I kind of went away because at the time I was into like the whole cooking thing, and I had my own on my own. I got it barbecue and hot sauce line, One Dirty Bitch barbecue sauce and hot sauce, and I was like, oh, maybe it's time to like get out there with this thing. I can obviously still use the wrestling, and I'm just hot off TV right now, whatever, even though I had one of my worst matches, they say, but it wasn't. But taking that, and then I had my Airstream trailer that I lived in, and I said, it. I'm like, I got money, I can just go travel and go hit, some, I know how to promote myself, and I know I didn't even think. I was just like, no, this is what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna go out on my own. I don't need no big company behind me, and I'll build this myself. And I don't know. I guess it was just like fire. It just fueled me more, and I don't know if it was just like you, like, hey, I'll show you who ODB is, and it was just weird. It was just kind of it was a good feeling maybe. I never had I don't really have pity parties for myself. I'm just like, get up, bitch. Like, they didn't want you. I'm like, let's go.
I feel like the way that you not only learned how to get over in wrestling, but then after wrestling, took that and learned how to brand yourself instead of taking it out on the indies. You created a whole nother brand. It is so LiMPiN ain't easy. You know what else ain't easy? Getting traction. Like, having a brand that people tune into or want to see what you're up to.
Yeah.
And you've done that, dude. And like, it's so impressive to me to see that, to see you met your husband, Al, and you guys have the food truck together. And
Right.
is, I don't know, Al. I know
Yeah.
your brand.
Here's our that's our food truck. Bam.
Oh, that's so dope.
One of them. We have 2 trucks now.
And
Yeah.
and that's and like, not that's hard work, but you probably love it because it's
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah. Because I always wanted my face on a truck. So I put my own damn face on my truck.
When's the last time you took a bump?
Actually, I did a couple indies this past year. I wrestled. When did I wrestle at? Oh, May. I wrestled. Rhino had a show in Michigan. So the buddy system. You do all that, and then I wrestled. One of my girls, Jessica Havoc. We had a wrestling match. We just went out there, had fun, and then before that, I did an indie promotion in Knoxville, Tennessee. Did like a mixed tag match. So yeah, I mean, twice a year, I guess.
Does it still call out to you?
Yeah, like I had fun. Like I think like when I was doing those shows, I was like I could see myself doing like another run. I feel good. I actually take care of myself, I think, better than what I did when I was on the road. Being younger and wild and but like it's like it. I think I could. I have a new pair of wrestling boots. I've only used yeah.
You're thinking about it, huh?
I know, right? Putting it out there.
Hey, no, dude, that would be awesome. That would be like the thing about it is today's game is different, and I know it's tough. As a male wrestler, you can kind of, what do they say? You start in your 20s, you make money in your 30s and your 40s, but you get really good by your 40s. But I feel like, but then you look at like Mickey, you look at you look at you're still stone cold foxes. Like there's no reason why something like that can't happen to some degree. And that's interesting. Did you, because you went to TNA recently?
Yeah, I called them up, and I, because they were at the Minneapolis Armory, and at the food trucks, I was like, well, I didn't need their permission to have the food truck there because that's all city, and I could just park it. And then I talked to the Minneapolis Armory, and they blocked some things for me. So the street, so like the whole street was blocked off just for our food truck. So yeah, I paid for it. I was like, well, I was gonna send the bill to TNA, but no.
Why not?
So then I told TNA, I told the PR guy, I said, hey, I'm gonna do my own meet and greet. And he's like, well, how much is that gonna cost us? I'm like, no, I'm doing it. I got it. I'm like,
I got it. Just let you know.
You guys could just promote it. I'm like, I got this. I'm like, I'm gonna park right in front of the Armory, say meet and greet, before the show with ODB. And, I was hoping, the wrestlers would come out and eat and stuff and take pictures. And it was great. It was 2 days. I got to do it. And I was hoping, I wanted to be like part of the show and drive the food truck into it. But of course that didn't happen. And then some of the wrestlers did come out, which I'm very thankful for them. That was awesome. And Jody Thread actually came out, hopped on the truck, and we did something for her YouTube. It'll come out more. And so yeah, Jody Thread's cool. I think me and her could team up, do some damage. And then Carlos, the president, TNA president, came by because we've never met. And he's coming. He's a huge businessman coming into wrestling. Doesn't really know the history of TNA. So I literally jumped out of my truck and like I was right there in front of him. And he's like, hey. I'm like, hey. And I quick introduced myself. I'm Jesse, the ODB, in my food truck, one of the original Knockouts. He's like, oh my God, so nice to meet you. Bye-bye. He's like, do we have you on the show? I'm like, no, you don't. He's like, well, are you able to get backstage? I'm like, yep, I got it. He's like, well, all right. So when you get in there, let me know. Come find me. We're going to do something. So basically, they just announced TNA ODB was here. I'm just in the crowd waving. And they did show the food truck on TV before the show. So I was like, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And then he messaged me the next day and said, hey, it was great having you and your husband out. Very nice meeting you. So we went back and forth on some stuff. So you never know what can happen. But that was very awesome of him to like come out. Now I got his number.
I really hope that comes to fruition because there's nobody like you on the planet. In wrestling, there's nobody like you, and it works. It's timeless. So as long as you can hit that fall away, hit that lip up, and bam.
I don't know. I gotta. Oh, I don't know how to. I tried to do it like a few years back, and I couldn't keep up
Who's somebody you think you could draw money with right now?
at TNA.
Anywhere. WWE, TNA.
Mm. Well, with WWE, I mean Rhea Ripley. I mean, for sure, I could just step in the ring with her. And then TNA, I think it'd be cool to team up with someone at TNA. Like I said, Jody Threat. She's more like she's wild and stuff. And I think me coming back, if it would happen, I wouldn't be as crazy as I was. I'd still be ODB, but then it'd be more of a all right, it's go time. Like,
Yeah,
this
more
is-
kick-ass, less funny.
yeah. I'd be like, maybe not less boob grabbing and stuff. Because sometimes I
Okay.
watch my own, I'm like, what the hell was I doing?
You're wild. You're the one dirty
Yeah,
man.
I'm wild. Well, now I can just be more like, hey, my together. So now I can,
Right.
I think go after the tag titles that I never lost.
Would you say that the greatest adversity that you faced in your wrestling career was being different?
Yeah,
And the
definitely
acceptance or not acceptance of it?
being unique, being different. And I don't know if I gave off this persona where kind of like don't with me kind of persona. I don't know, because like it was weird, like just thinking about it when you asked that question. It's like I look back at the OVW days. I'm like, I was only attracted to some people, like like a TripleH, like a Dusty Rhodes, like we were attraction to each other, where it's like I can go up to them and they'll give me the answer. They won't bullshit. But then, like, let's say like a Johnny Ace, like he didn't want anything to do with me. He would, he'd walk right by me. I couldn't just go up to him, and I don't think I ever did. It wasn't like I don't know if it was something where they looked at me and like, I don't know if we can. I don't know. I think she'd call our bull out. It's kind of like that, where it's like I don't think we could with that one.
We can't get in there. We can't skullduggery. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was that time when a lot of was going on with other women, and it's like you're,
I think that's a good point. Your personality is such, like, I was immediately attracted to you because you were so, like, I was like, this girl's awesome. She's gonna be such a good time. Like, we're gonna have a great time. And I think maybe getting caught in that weird paradigm of, because it is what it is with you. You don't bullshit.
And that's what we learned going back to OVW. You learn like if it wasn't for OVW, who knows what I would have done in TNA. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, all the we learned inside and outside of the business, backstage and front. It's like you learn so much, and it's just like, you start, like you're really like sticking up for yourself too. Like, I'm not gonna stay somewhere where I'm not wanted, and I care less if I'm on TV every week. Like, pay me, respect me. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just not gonna, I don't care. I don't have anywhere else to go. Like,
I think there's time periods I remember where I did really compromise certain things that made me uncomfortable, or just to play, and I didn't like that feeling.
yeah, that feeling of feeling uncomfortable. You're like, why?
Because I think your story is so unique, and I think your character is so strong and definable and jumps off the screen, but it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, and you really paid a price for that. It helped you, it hurt you, but good or bad, ugly, it doesn't matter. It was you. What advice would you give to anybody out there, whether they're in the business or in life, who's struggling because they are different and they're fighting for acceptance, or feeling like what makes them different may not always be an asset?
Right? Use it. Like, being different is being different. Like, use it. Like, you're not. Like, yes, you're gonna have other people getting that job before you, but guess what? They're not gonna be sticking around. Like, some of these girls that made it, I'm like, I don't even know where they are or who they are anymore. Like, they go and they leave. But if you being different, yes, it's gonna take you a lot longer, but it's gonna make you a better person. Like, it's worth the wait. But during those days that I was struggling, like I didn't feel like I was struggling, but it didn't feel like it. I was just like, it's just my journey. Like I'm getting somewhere. Yeah, there's doubts. I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? Like sleeping in my Airstream sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like it's like I don't want that life after wrestling to be, miserable and all that. I don't want to be on the dark side of the ring episode.
Never that.
But it was just like you got like just go at it. It's your life. Like you have one life. Like just go for it. Like I know everyone's like easy said than done, but it is like it's when I never have a pity part myself. I was like, all right, next chapter. What's gonna happen? Well, of course, I always have goals. Like, all right, I'm getting there. I'm gonna do it, and you can do it. Like, you don't need other people to make happen. Make happen yourself. And now with social media, you can. Anything is possible.
Is there anything you look back on, not regret, but you go, oh man, if I'd done this one thing there, this might have happened? Anything like that?
I don't think so.
No, that's fine. You don't have to make up an answer. But...
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I just don't. I always thought it did come in my head like, oh, what if I would have just stayed with TNA for no pay and get an explosion match here and there? What would have happened? Would I made my career bigger, or would I have just set back on what I'm doing now? Like it would have been,
Yeah.
Like they would have been still in charge of me. Like let's say I wanted to be on the road, and they're like, "Oh, you got to be in so and so next week." It's so you never like. I don't regret nothing.
Good. That's good to hear. I want to ask you this final question. So you die, you're dead. ODB has passed away. It's your memorial show. Who's headlining it?
My memorial show.
Who's headlining it?
Who's headlining my memorial show? Jesus.
It's your memorial show. It could be anyone. Go ahead.
That's a good one. I don't even know what. Oh my God. Oh damn.
Who's in the segment? Give me something.
Do probably a battle royal. Put all my favorites in there.
Who's going over?
Oh. I don't know why I have Robert Gibson in my head.
That's perfect. Because he's not taking
Richard Morton.
Oh my God! Do you remember the day Steve Lewington took that back body drop and almost killed himself?
Oh
and
my
he
God!
landed so high and tight. That was terrible. Oh
my God! I remember Robert Gibson putting on a Stone Cold mask. You remember that? He's like, "Hey, ODB." I'm like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!"
It was so God. What a blast! I think back on those times and like, I forget so much of the wrestling, and I remember.
Right? Yeah.
There's so much. It's just making the towns and there was always something happening. Yeah, I think.
Like we were working, like that what it was all about. Like we were, like you said, it was, Monday training, Tuesday promo day, Wednesday TV taping, Thursday we're watching the show, Al stopping, pausing, pausing it, critiquing everyone, and we're taking it all in, watching everything, and then Friday we go to E-Town, Saturday. It's just like, man, we were working like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then outside the ring, we were having fun, partying and stuff, but we were still like this. Yeah, exactly. We were thinking like we didn't do anything stupid. Like we all took care of each other, which was cool. Like if someone was acting up or something, but we always make sure we all were taken care of. But yeah,
if things got a little bit dicey for me in the champagne room.
And crazy coconuts.
Hey, I fell in love with crazy coconuts a few
Oh
times.
my god.
um,
It's
hey, how do people find you on socials?
me at the ODB Bam. Um Instagram and Facebook. Twitter. I'm on Twitter, but I'm more Instagram and Facebook. So look for the Big Al and ODB's meet and greet food trucks. We do close up for the winter, so we have like 6 more events. And then we're closed from November. We open back up in March. Because of course Minnesota it snows and you can't really, food truck in the wintertime. And that's why we work our asses off in the summer with 2 trucks. And we're doing festivals, we concerts are like our big thing. So we just finished off with we had Weird Al Yankovic. We did his show. And then we did Tracy Lawrence and Josh Turner. We just finished up. We did the Doobie Brothers just a week ago.
I love that. I love that you got a great life going, that you're happy, you're healthy, got yourself a man, got yourself a
Big
food
Al.
truck.
Yeah.
And life sounds like it's pretty damn good. I hope selfishly and because I love you and you're my friend that you have another shot on the dance floor, because I think you
Thank you.
still have a lot to offer. I think yeah, here's the other thing. I think you have a lot to offer in the ring, but I also think you have a lot to offer people coming up, with this. But out of sight's out of mind if you're not in the game.
Yeah, and I've learned that because I've been out, and there's times where, like when people come to the food truck, they're like, "Oh, whatever happened to you?" But or some people, big fans of me, but they see me on social media or they just found me. They're like, "I was wondering what happened to you." When they see the food truck, it's like, yeah, but yeah, I think I owe it to myself too, and of course the fans. Like, I would love to come back and too with the knowledge that, because I talked to my husband about this. He's like, "Do you ever want to like do backstage stuff?" Because I still watch wrestling. Like, we'll watch Monday Night Raw, and we'll catch SmackDown here and there. But we're always food trucking on Fridays. And I'll watch TNA, and I'll look at stuff, and it's like, yes, I would love to like be that agent where they come backstage, because it's not this all the time. It's not like, oh my god, good stuff. It's like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, come on, like, dude, like, I watch a match, I'm like, oh my god, what are they doing? It's just like spot. Like, watching one of the girls' matches lately, it was literally watching like they were rehearsing the match. Like, there was no feeling, there was no emotion. Like, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, they're literally just like, oh, I gotta be over here. Oh, I gotta catch you. Oh, I dropped you. Sorry. It was just laziness. A lot of laziness.
They don't know what they don't know. And here's the thing, like they're not making any more Danny Davises, Rip Rogers, Hoot Gibsons, Al Snows. Once they're dead, and I'm not like, once they're dead and gone, it's like on the people who they taught. And
yeah,
I
it's
think
gonna happen. Like, seriously, like, you look at some of these people, I'm like, that's the future. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just like, it's a little scary in the wrestling. And cause not every, like, yes, there'll be some matches and stuff, like, you watch the Unreal and stuff, but there's a lot of this going on. But sometimes, yeah, not so much. Like, sometimes you gotta really just like
give it to them.
What the was that? Like,
give him the Joey. Give him the Joey. Yeah, who's every time they give me a critique, I felt like burning my suits and just walking away and never.
remember,
you
like,
need that. You need
Danny
that honesty.
Davis would be like, "What the He take his headset off, and we're like, "Oh!" We're like standing back. He comes out of the office. We're like, "Oh!"
Yeah, just all 5'2" of them and looking like a. Do not mess with Danny Davis, boy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad, because I got pretty tight with Danny, and I was really fortunate for that. And you were so well loved there. And I think back so fondly of that era, and they were right when they told us, like, this is the best time of your life. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
And it really who would have thought Louisville, Kentucky? And it was.
Oh God.
Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say before we get the out of here?
Yeah, this was awesome. We talked for over 2 hours. It's kind of cool when you bring back memories and you get to talk about it. So, I don't really, do this a lot.
Yeah, I think it's important to do that, Jesse, because your experience, especially for girls coming up in the business, is you have a footprint, a carbon footprint in the industry, and it's undeniable. There has never been an ODB, and there'll never be another ODB, and it's a bold gimmick, and and that's why it jumps off the screen.
Try to redo it, bitches. Try to.
I mean, like somebody, that's going to be, you're going to be one day old and gray and too old to do it. And you're going to see somebody had watched some tapes of you and they're going to do it. And you're going to go, thank you.
Like something I go like this.
yeah, right. Bam. Thank you so much for joining me here on LiMPiN Ain't Easy, but it sure beats crawling, which you've seen me do out of a few bars. So I just want to say I really appreciate your time. I'm so happy that you're happy and healthy, and I love you so much, ODB.
Love you too, Baltimore. This was awesome. Thank you for this. I needed this. This was very cool to chit chat and bring back the memories and what it's all about.
Yeah, hell yeah. So this is Timmy Baltimore. Her name is the one dirty bitch, the ODB. Bam!
Bam!
And this is LiMPiN Ain't Easy. We'll see you next time. I'm going to hit and record. Now let's bury everybody. What's that?
Yeah, right. Oh, well, your contract no longer exists anymore. I'm like, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like it ran out or it turned over?
Like once it was like, we're going to redo your contract. I'm like, oh, you're just going to redo it out of nowhere? I'm like, okay. So that happened to me once. But 2010, I think I kind of got released, but I don't remember. I think my contract literally just went away. The second time. Like,
hold on. When you say it went away, like they burnt it?
I don't remember. It's like the contract kind of went away, and I was like, well,
contract who do you need?
Yeah. Then Terry Taylor called me. He's like, oh, we're doing like an open challenge. Can you come in and we'll see, what happens.
We found your contract.
Yeah, we found it in here.
Hey, you jabronis. Hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to click subscribe to the YouTube channel and podcast. This has been LiMPiN Ain't Easy. It's wrestling as real as it gets.